What's going on, gearheads? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of basic maintenance for your Duramax engine. So whether you're in the market for one, whether it's the GMC with the Duramax 2500 or the Silverado 2500 HD with the Duramax L5P, we've got some basic maintenance items for you. So in episode 3, what we're going to do is we're going to do the quickest and easiest one of them all. We're going to add diesel exhaust fluid to your truck. So just a little note, back in the day, Chevy thought it was a good idea to add diesel fill, exhaust fluid fill, on the passenger side underneath the hood. Absolutely inconvenient and hard to get to. So they probably finally took some note that it was really ridiculous to have it underneath the hood while all the other manufacturers were putting it right next to the diesel fill. So they decided that they were going to finally start putting it right next to where you put diesel in your truck, making it convenient. The issue with this is some people couldn't differentiate between the two colors and would put DEF in the diesel and diesel in the DEF. Big money maker for GM, right? But we're not going to talk about that today. Let's grab the diesel exhaust fluid. Let's add it to the truck. All right, Garrett, so before we jump into pouring it, like I said, let's talk about the diesel exhaust fluid that we have here. This one is from Walmart. This one's 10 bucks. Now, there is another brand that is blue. We won't say the brand because I'm not being paid by them to advertise their DEF fluid, nor do I get enough views to advertise. So that one is 30 bucks. Now, the GM one is 55 for 2.5 gallons. Let's not debate on whether one is better than the other. This one I've been using for years, works great in GM vehicles. What's interesting, okay, whether you want to believe it or not, DEF fluid is not made by GM, and I can tell you that Walmart doesn't make their own DEF fluid. There's only a couple manufacturers in the US that make this stuff, and they all ship it out under different brand names. So I use this one because it's cheap. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and open up the fuel door. And as you can see here, you have the DEF fill and you have the diesel fuel fill. Do not get these two mixed up. In episode 1 of the video, I explained a little bit on how it's almost a $10,000 repair if you put DEF in the diesel. GM will replace the fuel lines, the fuel tank, drain it. It's not a fun thing. So make sure you do not put DEF in this one here. It goes into blue. Pretty simple. Let's go ahead and open it up. Take a look. So there is no valve in here. It goes straight down into the DEF tank. And let's go ahead and grab our DEF. We're going to put the little fill valve on it, and we're going to put it right in that hole. Go ahead and prep the container. Now, we're not talking about different brands here, so they're going to be the same all across the board on how they get filled. Well, on how the hose attaches. So they're all going to come with a hose, unless somebody at the store stole the hose out of the box because they lost the one that came with theirs and they left you with just a container of DEF. Trust me, it happens. So go ahead and set this aside, and I'm going to do some Fisher-Price stuff here. Go ahead and remove that from the top. Make sure there's no paper or anything that can fall into that DEF there. And I'm going to want to ahead and put that right on the DEF. And make sure you tighten it down. Put the hose in the hole. Now, you can use a funnel here if you really don't want to use this. It just depends. It's more set up for convenience and on the go. But for this, we're going to use the terrible hose that comes with this. And start filling. Just like that. It's going to take a couple minutes to fill up. You're going to need 2 containers of this, but that's how you do it right there. So just go ahead and let it go and then clean up the area when you're all done. All right, gearheads, if you found the video helpful, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and leave any of your questions or comments in the section below. Next weekend, we're going to do the oil change on the Duramax, and we're going to do episode 4 of the basic maintenance segment. Now, if you've seen some of the other videos, I always talk dollar figure, and the reason I talk dollar figure is to save you money, right? If you can learn to do it at home, you don't have to pay the dealership. Now, I understand there are some of you that do go to the dealership and you pay them just because you want it done, and that's quite all right. But the videos will kind of outline what you're paying for at the dealership as well. So it gives you a general idea. So we're going to do the oil change next weekend. It's going to save you some money. It's a pretty simple process. It's no different on the diesels than it is on any other vehicle. And we're going to hit up the Florida Everglades. We're going to take the boat out, maybe do some video blogging and a little fishing in the sun. So see you next time, guys.